Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So the calendar has dropped for January, the final month of season 5, and there is a lot of news basically dropped on us for this final patch. As you guys see it here, one of the very big ones is going to be the Celestial Hypogean hero. And this hero is actually a known hero from AFK Arena. Her name is Alna, and she is like a kind of like tank frontline oriented hero. We're gonna look at her skills of AFK Arena. I know that she is good for PvP and even stages, AFK stages in AFK Arena, so that is probably what I'm predicting for her for AFK Journey as well. Also, when we look at the trend of previous seasons, Celestial Hypogeans, the third one which is released, which was Athalia, and then it was Saida, they're usually always PvP focused heroes, so I would predict the same. Obviously, we don't know for sure, but my prediction is probably Alna will also be a PvP hero, especially also because this season we have already had two Celestial Hypogean heroes, which are Dream Realm meta. And I find it very hard to believe there will be a third one also going to be doing that. But Alna is a very interesting hero. I think she could change meta for some PvP, and we're going to talk about that. But apart from that, we have also a reveal of two new raid-up heroes we're going to be getting. So the first one is going to be this Wilder Warrior, who we actually saw in one of the story quests, if you guys remember. It was only briefly, I think after we beat the Serathriel boss, that we saw her in battle. And she had a huge shield right at the beginning of the match. She looked like she had maybe some damage reduction buff on herself. And then also, she deal like kind of AoE cleave type damage, like in a, maybe a cone in front of her or something. And she kept cycling that. So it looks like potentially an interesting Wilder Warrior. From what I saw of it, which was very limited, like in that story quest, I don't think she's probably going to be Dream Realm hero. She seems to be maybe PvP focused with that shielding, maybe some damage reduction and some damage of her own. As of right now, I don't really know what to expect with her. We'll need to see her full skill kit. But like, if she is a PvP hero, I think is either she needs to be a damage dealer or she needs to provide utility for the team. Like, those are the heroes which shine in PvP. Either like a really strong nuking damage dealer, or a hero that provides a lot of utility, and we'll have to see if she has either of those. And then we also have Kordan, who's going to be the final raid-up hero starting from the 15th of Jan onwards. He is the tiger we have seen right from the beginning. The first season trailer we saw, it had Kordan in it, and he looked like a really cool, probably Mauler, and I think maybe they've even color coded it, because green for Wilder and maybe red for Mauler. I think he's probably going to be a Mauler, potentially also a warrior. So that is interesting as well. And we don't really know what to expect with his skills. I think someone did mention he was faced at some point in like story missions, but I can't remember that, and I don't know what his skills are going to be like. We'll have to wait and see about that. But again, probably leaning more towards the PvP angle. These heroes just seem, if they're warriors generally are not the greatest for Dream Realm. They're more like bruiser type damage dealers for PvP, generally is how they're seen. So a lot of heroes have now basically been revealed in this calendar. 3 heroes just in the top 3 rows. And that is very interesting. But apart from that, we also have, we have other things, but Ravaged, more importantly, is going to be against that Medusa boss. This Medusa-like boss who we did face in the story, and she was like an assassin. I think she dealt really high single target damage, and we're gonna have to, maybe I'll make a dedicated video talking about her skills, like from what we have from, like, the collection, like our collection book. We can see all the bosses we've encountered or enemies we've encountered and their skill set, because that could maybe help us maybe predict Ravaged. But it is an interesting choice for a Ravaged boss. She was really cool when we faced her in the story, and I honestly wanted her to become playable because she's an assassin, and like assassins are so, at least for me, they're one of my favorite like classes, especially with Athalia. She's like my favorite Celestial Hypogean hero. because of just how dominant she is in PvP. And yeah, so we have that as a Ravaged rum. It will start looking around maybe 9th or 10th Jan, and it will last for probably at least 20 days, or yeah, close to that, almost to the end of January. Ravaged rum, and that is going to be interesting because we have a lot of new heroes from this season which are going to be added into those squad rosters. Apart from that, we have some other various events: Relentless Rumble, Spell Slingers. This is just the end of Clash Runs. There's not going to be a third Clash Runs. And then there will be a new season preview starting from like 16th of Jan. And that's exciting as well. Always when we have information or trailers about new season, the like season 6, which will be coming after Thorns of Devotion, that's always an exciting time period, and I am looking forward to that. And do keep in mind, the VN server are going to be 1 week ahead of us in most of this content, but for the hero releases, they're only 2 days ahead, or 1.5 days ahead for Celestial Hypogeans. But yeah, for the other content, they are going to be even entering the new season 1 week before us. Okay, and then we have Crystal Clash, so that is good because Crystal Clash, after the rework, I think was much more like kind of, it was more interest. It was basically a better event, and I think definitely this is going to be better than the Serathriel like Age of Calamity event we had, which was like kind of just way too grindy. Crystal Clash should not be anywhere near that. And then finally, we're going to have another Pearl Tycoon. There are a lot of Pearl Tycoon events, but it is free rewards at the end of the day. So anyway, guys, that is basically going to be it for this map calendar. But now let's look at Alna. So Alna here, if you see, she's actually a Celestial Warrior or tank type. I'm predicting probably she's going to be a Celestial tank, because the thing is, we've had Baelran, we've had Scarlita. They're both Celestial Warriors. I've really doubted they're going to add a third one. They're probably going to make her a Celestial tank because she also does fit that kind of basically gameplay. And the thing about her which makes her unique is she has this blizzard, like in AFK Arena. Obviously, in AFK Journey, it will probably be different to an extent, but this gives us an idea and a prediction. So what she does is she reduces all characters, even her own allies' haste by 40. And that has some real utility for PvP, because what you can do is you can run in a team with allies who maybe don't depend that much on haste, and it will act as like kind of like a defensive type role by debuffing the enemy's haste as well. And then the active calls upon a blizzard, deals damage, and then cause any haste reduction to be multiplied by 2 times. So even making it more haste reduction and nullifying ally haste buff. So like that's also huge value, right? It's going to be like a 80 haste reduction in AFK Arena and then 0 haste reduction onto your team when she can cast her ultimate. And if she had pre-fill energy or something, that would be pretty crazy. Apart from that, she deals damage. Now, you have to understand, this is damage equal to 10% of the maximum health. This is not HP loss damage, at least from this wording, if it is falling AFK Arena. This is just raw damage, like whatever damage type she is, which might be physical. And it will just be capped at 520% attack multiplier. But this is just damage. This is not true damage. This is not HP loss damage, at least based on the wording of this. So like that's why I do not think she's going to be an HP, like an Endless or a Dream Realm damage dealer. And then you also have damage levels increased by 1% for the of the enemy's maximum health whenever the haste is reduced by 3 points. Then you have Frigid Wind to encircle herself, disrupt her enemies. Alna is okay, disrupt. How does it disrupt, I wonder? Alna is immune to damage and control effects for 7 seconds. Like, I mean, we have Hodgkin who's immune to physical damage. It would really determine, like, we would need to know immune to what type of damage. Immune to all damage sources? That would be ridiculous. And disrupt, the enemies. Then Frozen Fury, Alna uses her spear to swipe at nearby enemies, dealing damage to them, also reducing their haste by 20 points. So it was all about haste reduction, which is like, again, a PvP type thing, or even AFK stages. Each use of this skill increases the number of attacks that are dealt, up until a maximum of 3 attacks are reached. This skill's haste reduction effect can be maybe stacked multiple times. So it's just massive haste reducing the enemy, basically. And then these are just skill ups. Then apart from that, you have these other abilities. Enhancing Winter's Call, causing them to take more damage, basically. Dodge, we don't have as a stat in AFK Journey. Enhance the skill, Frozen Fury, damage is increased by that, and Arena, okay. But now when you look at this other, like, plus 40, like, engravings, so in battle when Alna takes damage, she gradually recovers 70% of the health, which was lost over the next 15 seconds. That's interesting. So basically, she's going to be a self-healing, a kind of resilient tank, which is really good for PvP if she can tank the front line. And then when Alna takes down, she gradually recovers, and it will be over 10 seconds. When Alna's health drops below 50% for the first time, the effects of Winter Calls are triggered. That is also strong. Winter Call is going to be this one, making her immune to damage and control effects when she drops below 50% health. That could have great PvP uses, and grants immunity to control effects while using Winter's Call. Her furniture set bonus, damage dealt by, okay, when placed on the front line, damage dealt by the other frontline ally causes enemy targets to lose 30 haste points for 55 seconds. This skill cannot be stacked to debuff. But then, more importantly, when placed on the front line, the effects of the skills Winter's Call also take effect for her other frontline ally, making them immune to damage. So this is why she's ridiculous in PvP and AFK Arena, because the Winter's Call is really her bread and butter skill, making her immune to damage and control effects for 7 seconds. That is ridiculous. And if you can provide that to another frontline ally, like Perseus or another melee hyper carry, or even non-melee, whatever hyper carry you put up in the front, making them immune, that is really strong. So like, this is why Alna could potentially bring back, or actually create, for the first time ever, a fully melee PvP meta. And making that, like, being able to compete with ranged, because right now ranged is far more superior compared to melee. But if you have like Alna making herself invincible, immune to damage for 7 seconds, and also her other frontline ally, and they're running down your team like a purse is running down your team, that's really looking deadly and scary, honestly. And so I think this is actually going to be the way potentially that Alna might be meta as a PvP sort of like immunity to damage granting tank. So anyway, guys, that's going to be basically it about Alna. If you have any other thoughts, you can feel free to share them in the comment section down below. But I am hyped. The third Celestial Hypergeon was delayed, which now we will know for the future that this is always a possibility. Because I still was not, like, from our previous calendar review, I was like, where is the third Celestial Hypergeon? Because I was almost certain that from now on out, they're always going to do 3 Celestial Hypergeons. Because actually, there was one mention of that in one talk with designers. And then also, like, you know, obviously, AFK Journey wants to make money, and so like not having a third Celestial Hypergeon is gonna lose out on their money making potential, and like, so that's why I was predicting a third one. But it looks like hopefully will just be a PvP pure hero, and which means that it could be skippable, not like actually a needed investment. But definitely she's a cool hero. I'm looking forward to her. I can't wait to see more info about it. Let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section down below. But thank you guys all so much for watching. That is going to be it for this one. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you could support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment. And you can actually bookmark this link in your browser. And whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.